My top 10 movies in chronological order. Number 1. Shakespeare in Love 1998. William Shakespeare is a known but struggling poet, playwright, and actor, who not only has sold his next play to both Philip Henslowe and Richard Burbage, but now faces a far more difficult problem. He is bereft of ideas and has yet to begin writing. He is in search of his muse, the woman who will inspire him, but all attempts fail him until he meets the beautiful Viola Delaware Lesseps. She loves the theater and would like nothing more than to take to the stage, but is forbidden from doing so as only men can be actors. She is also a great admirer of Shakespeare's works. Dressing as a man and going by the name of Thomas Kent, she auditions and is ideal for a part in his next play. Shakespeare soon sees through her disguise and they begin a love affair. One they know cannot end happily for them as he is already married, and she has been promised to the dour Lord Wessex. As the company rehearses his new play, William and Viola's love is transferred to the written page, leading to the masterpiece that is Romeo and Juliet.
Man, but I swear it would wait for you.
Ben Affleck.
What is the play and what is my part?
And Judi Dench.
She's been plucked since I saw her last, and not by you.
The show must go on.
Shakespeare in Love.
Number 2. The Butterfly Effect 2004. As a child, Evan Treborn was afflicted with blackouts where he would be in one place 1 minute and then another the next, remembering absolutely nothing in between. Now all grown up and in college, he decides to read from an old journal he wrote to remember stuff that might have happened in the in-between, and suddenly finds himself back at a certain point in his life. He realizes that those blackouts he had were actually empty spaces of time he had to fill up later in life. Attempting to use this ability to undo unpleasant past events, Evan starts to find that every time he goes back and tries to fix things, he ends up making everything worse. How can he prevent more tragedies from happening and save the one girl he ever loved, Kaylee? Number 3. Howl's Moving Castle 2004. With her country's peace constantly under threat, Sophie, a lively but unloved milliner, catches the attention of an unexpected defender. But as the wide-eyed damsel in distress crosses paths with handsome Howl, a talented young magician with excess emotional baggage, a fit of jealousy turns the hat maker's world upside down forever. Now, stained by the indelible mark of the Wicked Witch of the Waste, Sophie must move mountains to break the pitiless spell, including facing her fears and the mysterious sorcerer. However, has anyone ever set foot in Howl's impenetrable home, a walking wonder powered by a fiery heart, and lived to tell the tale?
Moving castle.
This is a magic house.
And the one wizard powerful enough to set her free.
This charm will guarantee your safe return.
Number 4. Perfume. The Story of a Murderer 2006. Jean-Baptiste Grenouille came into the world unwanted, expected to die, yet born with an unnerving sense of smell that created alienation, as well as talent. Of all of the smells around him, Grenouille is beckoned to the scent of a woman's body and spends the rest of his life attempting to smell her essence again by becoming a perfumer and creating the essence of an innocence lost.
Master, can I come to work for you? My nose knows all the smells in the world.
No man can call him.
When I was 28 years old, when I had children.
Number 5. The Pursuit of Happyness 2006. Based on a true story about a man named Christopher Gardner. Gardner has invested heavily in a device known as a bone density scanner. He feels like he has it made selling these devices. However, they do not sell well as they are marginally better than X-ray at a much higher price. As Gardner works to make ends meet, his wife leaves him and he loses his apartment. Forced to live out in the streets with his son, Gardner continues to sell bone density scanners while concurrently taking on an unpaid internship as a stockbroker, with slim chances for advancement to a paid position. Before he can receive pay, he needs to outshine the competition through 6 months of training and to sell his devices to stay afloat.
Have anything to do with that? There's no salary. No, I was not aware of that.
There are two wolves fighting in a man's heart. One is called love, the other, hate.
Number 6. Pathfinder 2007. Much of the story is taken from the Norwegian film Veiviseren from 1987 by Nils Gopp. Nils Gopp was inspired by Sami legends in which Russian Judr or Karelian Judr are overcome by a Sami pathfinder. There are many indications that the background for the legends is Karelian robbery against the Sami in the 12th and 13th centuries.
Promise me he has a place. You never know what's coming for you.
Go back for a moment. Take your mind off that.
Number 7. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button 2008. On the day that Hurricane Katrina hits New Orleans, elderly Daisy Williams is on her deathbed in a New Orleans hospital. At her side is her adult daughter, Caroline. Daisy asks Caroline to read to her aloud the diary of Daisy's lifelong friend, Benjamin Button. Benjamin's diary recounts his entire extraordinary life, the primary unusual aspect of which was his aging backwards, being diagnosed with several aging diseases at birth, and thus given little chance of survival, but who does survive and gets younger with time. Abandoned by his biological father, Thomas Button, after Benjamin's biological mother died in childbirth, Benjamin was raised by Queenie, a black woman and caregiver at a senior's home. Daisy's grandmother was a resident at that home, which is where she first met Benjamin. Although separated through the years, Daisy and Benjamin remain in contact throughout their lives, reconnecting in their 40s when in age they finally match up. Some of the revelations in Benjamin's diary are difficult for Caroline to read, especially as it relates to the time past this reconnection between Benjamin and Daisy, when Daisy gets older and Benjamin grows younger into his childhood years.
Queenie? It's a funny thing coming home.
Sweet Jesus!
You'll realize what's changed
Benjamin.
is you.
Number 8. In Time 2011. Welcome to a world where time has become the ultimate currency. You stop aging at 25, but there's a catch. You're genetically engineered to live only one more year, unless you can buy your way out of it. The rich earn decades at a time, becoming essentially immortal, while the rest beg, borrow, or steal enough hours to make it through the day. When a man from the wrong side of the tracks is falsely accused of murder, he is forced to go on the run with a beautiful hostage. Living minute to minute, the duo's love becomes a powerful tool in their war against the system.
I was sitting in this coffee house, and this old man at the table next to me struck up a conversation. He said you had an amazing story.
Number 9. Life of Pi 2012. In Canada, a writer visits the Indian storyteller Pi Patel and asks him to tell his life story. Pi tells the story of his childhood in Pondicherry, India, and the origin of his nickname. One day, his father, a zoo owner, explains that the municipality is no longer supporting the zoo, and he has hence decided to move to Canada, where the animals the family owns would also be sold. They board on a Japanese cargo ship with the animals, and out of the blue, there is a storm, followed by a shipwrecking. Pi survives in a lifeboat with a zebra, an orangutan, a hyena, and a male Bengal tiger nicknamed Richard Parker. They are adrift in the Pacific Ocean, with aggressive hyena and Richard Parker getting hungry. Number 10. The Revenant 2015. While exploring uncharted wilderness in 1823, legendary frontiersman Hugh Glass sustains injuries from a brutal bear attack. When his hunting team leaves him for dead, Glass must utilize his survival skills to find a way back home while avoiding natives on their own hunt. Grief-stricken and fueled by vengeance, Glass treks through the wintry terrain to track down John Fitzgerald, the former confidant who betrayed and abandoned him.
My son. The proper thing to do would be to finish him off quick.
He's to be cared for as long as necessary.
I understand. Get away! How?
What happened?
We did what we had to do. He was buried right.
All I had was my boy. And he took him from me, you understand? He's afraid. He knows how far I came to find him. I ain't afraid to die anymore. I've done it already.